Good afternoon, everyone, and thank you for joining us today for our webinar, Making AI Translation Drip Work in the Real World. I know this time of year is really busy, so I really appreciate you all joining us today. Today's session will last around 25 to 30 minutes in total, and we'll spend roughly 20 minutes going through the main content, and then we'll leave time for questions and discussion at the end. The session is being recorded, so if you need to drop off early or want to revisit anything later, we'll be sharing the recording afterwards. But before we dive in, let me quickly introduce myself. I'm James. I'm head of commercial at Comtec Translations, and I've spent the last 14 years working in the translation and localization industry. A big part of that time has been spent partnering with marketing teams within B2B and B2C agents brands, and some of my clients have included Aston Martin, Nomad Foods, Finia, plenty more. When I'm not supporting my clients, I also volunteer as vice chair of the Association of Translation Companies. And two fun facts about me, I speak four languages, so obviously English, but also French, German, and Spanish. And I also help play for and run an inclusive rugby team here in Warwickshire. So that's me. For those who are unfamiliar with Comtec, we are a language localization agency based in the UK. And we have over 40 years experience supporting global brands communicate their messages in over 250 languages. We're also the first and currently only UK translation company to be a certified B Corp. So as I mentioned today, we're going to be looking at AI-driven machine translation, how it works in the real world. This will include a look at the current landscape of global content, so why volume, speed, and cost pressures are forcing change, why one localization approach doesn't work anymore, and what different approaches are available, how to make machine translation work in practice, how Comtec's self-service machine Pronto enables smarter decisions, with a short demo as well. Pronto versus off-the-shelf tools, so what to look for and how these results differ. And also how Pronto fits alongside other localization solutions. We also have a few exclusive offers to share with all attendees today, along with some time for Q&A. So let's get started, shall we? Right, first of all, I want to look at the current landscape of global content. There's currently a bit of a dilemma for brands, and that's because we are living in an unprecedented era of content production. More data is going to be created, captured, and replicated in the next 3 years than in the rest of human history in its entirety. This means more channels, more files, more formats, more updates. As a result of all of this, global teams are under growing pressure. Content volumes are increasing. More languages need to be supported than ever before. Turnaround times are getting shorter, and budgets just aren't keeping pace. But for many, the real challenge isn't just translation cost. It's also internal reworking, delays, localization becoming a bottleneck for the brand. So what does that mean? It means brands need a smarter, faster localization process than ever before. And this is where AI comes in. It's these challenges which are helping brands turn towards AI. But there are multiple ways of working with AI in translation, and some content where actually it doesn't really work so well at all. So what's the offer? What's the answer if you're looking to explore AI, but you're quite not sure where it's going to be used best in your business? The answer is categorizing your content based on brand sensitivity and its value to your business. And this will help you explore where AI can help. Because it's quite easy to assume that all content should be localized in the same way, but not all content is created equally. Different content holds different levels of value, risk, and impact for a brand. Treating everything the same way, whether that's translating everything using traditional human methods or translating everything via AI, can be expensive or inefficient or risky. So what we recommend is establishing a clear framework for content localization that helps match effort in terms of translation to the value of the content. And that's what we call content categorization. Here's an example on the screen of Comtec's content impact matrix. This is what we use when working out with our clients to help them identify which level of translation localization we should carry out for each of their types of content. It's very much collaborative, and to decide this, we consider each type of content they will be looking to translate against a range of set criteria. These include creativity, risk levels, brand proximity, commercial impact, audience size, and also budget and deadline as well, of course, important factors in any translation decision. And from these results, we agree the best translation method for each type of content. Now at Comtec, we offer a tiered localization model with three core tiers, which ensures we can accommodate every budget and deadline while also respecting brand voice and style where it's needed. I'm just going to talk you quickly through each of those tiers. So tier one is machine translation with automated post-editing, or MTAP, as we call it at Comtec. This suits high volume, repetitive, low risk content where speed matters most. Tier two is machine translation with human linguist post editing. And this is where a lot of day-to-day marketing content now sits. And tier three is fully human localization or transcreation in its traditional form. This is great for brand critical content still, where brand voice, style, and nuance really do matter above all. And while there are several choices to make, the key point is that brands don't need to make these choices alone. Your translation partner should help you make these decisions and share samples so you can understand the output levels. And honestly, the best outcomes arrive when the brand and the translation partner work together in alignment to make these decisions. So at this point, we've looked at the different levels of service available with AI translation, whether it's MTAP or MTPE with the linguist post editing on top. I want to have a quick look now at how brands can actually access these services. Firstly, you have your traditional managed language services. So this is where a brand outsources their translation and localization projects to be managed from start to finish, quotation to final delivery to their trusted translation partner. We always recommend this approach if you're looking for optimum quality and you need support managing all the different stages and your translation workflow. Secondly, we have workflow integration and automation. This means connecting your content systems, be they a CMS system, PIM, e-commerce platform, or a digital asset manager, with the localization platform of your translation partner. This works very well because it enables continuous localization and it's effective for always-on translations. And finally, we have self-service tools. These can be great for speed and control. And we'd always recommend working with your partner to identify which of these three approaches is best for you. Today, though, we're going to have a specific look at self-service tools and how you can access AI translations via these. The reason for spotlighting this today is that many brands are turning to AI self-service translation tools because of immediate cost and time savings. But it's important to proceed with some caution. So we're going to look at when using a self-service tool, the right approach for your brand. To help us understand this, we're going to do a deep dive into how these solutions work. And to illustrate this, I'm going to be talking you through Comtec's self-service translation tool, Pronto. So let's take a look at Pronto. Now, there are plenty of AI machine translation tools on the market, but most rely on raw machine translation, out of the box machine translation with little control over quality, tone, or consistency. But at Comtec, we built Pronto differently to avoid all of that. Pronto is Comtec's self-service translation platform built on expert MTAP translations. That's machine translation with automated post-editing, or our tier one service I mentioned on the previous slide in the content framework. While Comtec is a self-service tool, it is fully set up by Comtec for you at the start when you first start working with Pronto. Our linguists and localization engineers essentially configure and manage the AI around your terminology, tone of voice, and markets, so your teams get fast, reliable translations they can actually use. Translations can arrive in minutes, and you have all of the setup and training, ongoing support as well from Comtec. So you really do get the best of both worlds, a tool with a partner. Let's take a look at some of the core features of Pronto and what a typical self-service tool might offer. So Pronto offers unlimited user access. So one Pronto setup can cover your whole organization. You can access 30 languages out the box with Pronto, with more being added regularly. Alongside this, you can also, for any language, add brand customization where you need it. I'm going to come on to that more very shortly. Pronto handles a full range of editable file formats. And during translation, layout and formatting are preserved. Your files are returned and are exported from Pronto fully formatted, so there's no need for rework or reformatting, which is a huge bonus. Really important to mention, as a B Corp and given our ISO 27001 certification, Pronto is a secure GDPR compliant environment with enterprise grade security and built-in data protection. Um, and there's also a range of pricing models available depending on your ongoing content needs for translation, from pay-as-you-go all the way through to subscription packages. Well, these features are brilliant. It's the MTAP solution that powers Pronto that really makes it special. And I want to look at MTAP a little bit more detail. So MTAP, as I mentioned, which is machine translation and automated post-editing, is actually a customized automated blend of three technologies in one workflow. These are machine translation, translation memory, and a large language model. So how does that work? So in one seamless workflow, we start by machine translation. So machine translation is carried out based on an engine that's trained by us on your translation memory and your terminology. For your core languages, we also recommend investing in brand customization, which includes creation of a bespoke glossary of approved terminology. This essentially ensures that the machine output uses your brand's key terms and phrasing from your translation memory. And with terminology customization involved, from the very first draft, the content is already better than it would be from an off-the-shelf machine translation tool. So that's step one. Step two is automated post editing. That's the AP in the MTAP, happens via a large language model. So your content is given a thoughtful polish and review process through automated post editing. This stage essentially fine-tunes the wording of your translations in line with predetermined style instructions based on common preferences from the target market. This stage, though, can also be customized further, just like stage one, based on your brand's style and tone of voice. So there's some really cool stuff it can do there. So what does that mean for quality overall then, if that's a solution that powers Pronto? So to recap, Pronto offers full brand customization where you need it. You can customize terminology and style for your brand on a language by language basis. It also integrates with your translation memory, which ensures output leverages previous translations you've already approved. As part of the MTAP process, our linguistic engineered automated post-editing step refines raw translation output, delivering more cleaner, consistent, reviewer-ready output. And again, this can be customized for your brand. And in many cases, MTAP output won't actually work on its own. We'll come on to that a little bit later, but for customer-facing or brand-sensitive content, human reviews are available in Pronto via two ways. Option number one is Pronto comes with an internal review area built in, where you can assign your colleagues to review and approve translations directly within Pronto, so you can completely in-source translation in that matter. But if you don't have viewers, you can actually request human review and polishing by Comtec, which we can carry out for you. Based on these features, we're confident that Pronto offers teams the best possible quality and flexibility you can get from an AI solution on the market. So just like Comtec's managed services, we are very quality forward. So in summary, how does Pronto work? It's quite simple. You simply upload your files, choose your target languages, and Pronto delivers your translation in minutes. Next, you've got the option to assign your colleagues to review the translations within Pronto, or you can submit a request for expert post editing by Comtec specialist linguists. If you prefer the latter and you'd like to outsource it to us, we'll confirm costs and turnaround times and get back to you with a reviewed version in Pronto as soon as possible. And then once completed, you can either proceed with the MTAP version and download that right away from Pronto, or you can export the version that's been edited by either your colleagues or Comtec. And again, layout and tags are fully preserved. What I'm going to do now is very quickly show you here's what I made earlier video of Pronto and how you submit a request, just so you can kind of bring all that to life. I'm just going to flick that over on my screen, so bear with me 2 moments. So here is a video I made earlier, which I'm going to narrate. So Pronto is accessible in our client portal, which you can see here on the screen. To access Pronto, you simply click the Pronto button if you have a subscription available, and you can click New Request to select a new request. It will then bring you up a short disclaimer for you to read each time. Simply review and agree and click Next. And here's where you can upload your content for translation. You can grab your source file from your system. You can select your source language and confirm your target languages. I've clicked French here for the purpose of the demo. Simply click Next, and you can see here some additional options you can tick. You can double check that the filter is the right for the source material you're looking for, and you can also select the end usage and subject area as well. This is really helpful if we've created different prompts for you based on different types of content. When that's ready, you click Submit, and you receive a confirmation saying that that's now been submitted to you, and the translation is underway. You will see the main screen refreshes and your new request appears at the top. Now that typically takes 2 to 5 minutes, so I won't bore you with waiting for this, but I want to show you what you can do next. So in this example here, we've got one on the screen. You can this is a list of previous projects. You can download all of the translations, or you can specifically select the target or either the target languages or the source, or you can submit for editing. Now here on a language by language basis, you have two options. You can assign it to one of your colleagues to review in the platform, and they'll receive a notification, or you can select Pro Edit and select from 3 levels of post editing by Comtec. If it's the latter, after you press submit, we will receive a notification and we'll get cracking with a quotation for you for post editing. And if it's your internal reviewer who you've selected, they will then receive a notification that they're ready to review. So that's Pronto in a nutshell. I'm going to pop my screen back up here and make sure that's still working. Yes, I believe it is. And let's carry on with the rest of the session. So I hope that was really useful to show you what Pronto looks like and how a self-service machine translation tool can be really useful. Here's a quick recap of some of the benefits you can achieve. So working with a self-service tool like Pronto, you can cut traditional translation costs by up to 75%, depending on how you're using it. It can offer you near instant translations in minutes compared to waiting days and weeks, potentially, depending on volume sizes. It's also hassle-free. I hope I showed in the demo it's super quick and easy to upload your translation and select and proceed as you wish to going forward. You also have the option of staying on brand. So while it's a machine translation solution, you can upgrade for customization, or you can access different levels of review. And essentially, that's really, really important. You can access Comtec's expertise in linguists when you need us, but you still stay in control of the process. So you're essentially bringing translation management in-house. At the start of the webinar, though, I did mention it's important to proceed with caution when working with self-service translation tools. The reason for this is that a lot of off-the-shelf tools are intended for individual users or fully independent localization teams who have the expertise and knowledge to really get the best out of the tool. Some platforms also offer very varied or very limited levels of quality, customization, along with different charges for extra languages and user licenses. So what I would say is it's really important to benchmark off-the-shelf tools by tech providers with those created by translation companies like Comtec, who are able to do the customization for you and get it all set up and running so you can then just manage it yourselves, get the best out of it. I'd also be remiss to say that machine translation is only as good as the humans behind it. And where to get the best results from machine translation, the work is all in the setup, completed by expert humans to make sure these work effectively for your brand. What does that look like, you might be asking? So at at Comtec, when we set up a customer with a Pronto license, or any machine translation workflow for that matter, we first of all train the engine to speak your language via our MTAP solution. So offering customized AI, not basic or off-the-shelf AI as it's called. We also can advise on how to improve the source content to make it more suitable for AI. We post-edit the AI thanks to our network of professional linguists with care and expertise. During the setup and ongoing maintenance, we run test samples, we evaluate, we iterate, and work with our customers until you're happy the output is fit for purpose. And the bottom line is we do this to really protect your brand. So yeah, that's essentially why human expertise is so, so important with machine translation. Um, so now we've taken a look at a self-service solution. I just wanted to recap on how working with a self-service tool like Pronto can fit alongside other methods. So obviously we talked about outsourced translation to in terms of a managed service to a translation partner, or using workflow integrations at the very start of the webinar. But in truth, the future of translation is in a hybrid approach. We're seeing lots of brands opt for at least two methods of accessing translation services these days. And you can absolutely match the way you access your content and your translations, just like you can mix and match the translation service being carried out, whether it's AI or human. Hybrid is really where the future is lying with translation. And I've got a few examples on the screen here just to talk you through where we'd perhaps recommend using each service level. So I'm going to start with Pronto on the right-hand side. So Pronto, essentially, where we're seeing clients really get so much value out of Pronto is internal communications. B2B marketing teams are also really liking it based on the MTOP customization for terminology. Training teams, customer support service teams, and policy documentation teams as well. They're also using Pronto really, really effectively. And for content that's perhaps more high profile on the B2B marketing perspective, we're seeing them upgrading to Pronto Pro Edit, which is where Comtec come in and will edit the translations for them. So yeah, that's one way to add the extra value and polish on top. In terms of managed services, this is traditional ways of outsourcing content to an agency. This is still really, really valid, and we'd recommend it for kind of creative or high impact content, e-learning localization, video localization, B2C marketing as well, which is, again is super creative, and also branded regulated content as well. This kind of content all needs extra care and attention. And even if AI is in the mix, which is really popular for videos and e-learning, there's so many components, there's so much project management that goes into it. You'll get the most value for money by and time return into investment in terms of time by outsourcing this to a translation partner. And finally, workflow integration and automation. This is really helpful for brands that are looking for constant instant translations. So e-commerce teams, website teams, software, PIM localization, huge amounts of content, priority is speed, essentially over other things. So that's where we'd recommend investing. And AI can be accessible through all of these as well, in any way, shape, and form. To bring that to life, I just wanted to show you how that can work. So here's an example of a client we work with. This client is a European SaaS company, specialized in construction technology. Their challenge was essentially lots of different work streams and content types, and with different levels of value. And for different types of content, they also had specific turnaround times, and some teams had budgets as well. What we did, actually, this customer, we actually categorized all their content, and they actually opted for all three options. So for their low risk internal content, they have a Pronto subscription, so they manage it fully in-house themselves after we've set it up for them. We manage their marketing content, which is quite creative, needs quite a lot of effort and attention ourselves, so that's outsourced directly to us, and we manage that process end to end. And we also have an integration with them for their website, so that enables fully automated AI translations with human polishing to offer a reliable, scalable workflow for their website. And in a nutshell, these are some of the kind of ROI you can see. So we typically see 25% cost savings through smarter content tiering and exploring a mix of AI and human solutions. With AI in the mix, we typically see delivery times improve by 40%, so time to market improved by 40% as a result. And when we compare customized machine translation via our MTAP solution with kind of raw MT, you can get from some of these other tools, you typically see post-editing time reduced by 30% because the quality is that much better already. So I hope that's given you a comprehensive overview of self-service tools and where they fit and how you can access AI translations. So to wrap up, let's review our key takeaways from this session. So, content categorization is the first step for a solid translation strategy and unlocks the power of any AI tool. Not all content is created equally, and your strategy should involve a mix of approaches. Self-service tools like Pronto are perfect for speed, control, and cost efficiencies, but other approaches might be better for other content streams. An AI tool is only as good as the human behind it. Don't skimp on investment for customization and setup. It will be the biggest driver of your success with any AI solution. And a final reminder, AI is not suitable for everything. Human localization is still the best approach for lots of types of marketing content in particular. So bear that in mind as well when you're looking at your different approaches to translation. So we're here to help. If you'd like to book in a session with me and our team to discuss how we can support you with localization, or you've got any queries, feel free to scan the QR code on the screen. That will take you through to our website where you can book in a call with us. We also have two very special offers. So first, we'd like to share with you a free copy of our Smarter Localization for Global Marketing Guide. And this is chock full of even more tips to help you optimize your translation workflows. Again, scan the QR code, download your copy. I'll also send the slides through as well afterwards, so you can scan the slides if that's easier for you as well. And finally, we'd like to offer all attendees a free 1 month no obligation trial of Pronto to see if this could be a good fit for you and your team. If you'd like to set up a script subscription for you, simply scan the QR code. That will take you through to a short form. Just fill in your contact details and to select which languages you're interested in. As I said, you'll get all 30 included, but it just gives us a good guide of what you need, and we'll get that set up for you. So that is everything from me. Does anybody have any questions? Just give people a moment to see. If no one has any questions on the call right now, absolutely please don't worry. I'll be in touch with the recording as well, and you can reach out to me any time. So just please feel free to connect with me on LinkedIn or contact us via our website. I think everyone's being super shy, or hopefully I've answered all your questions anyway during this presentation. So we'll wrap up there. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining. It's been a pleasure to share this with you today, and I hope you have a fantastic afternoon ahead. Take care. Thank you.